Afternoon all. Just going over some really simple recipes, but one of the essential things to have if you are a vegan, especially high carb, is a slow cooker. This one here is a 5-litre cooker. I used to have a 1-litre one and I used it for years. Basically, if it's for one person, it's okay, but you still are preparing like a soup or a stew every day. But literally all you're doing is adding water to the slow cooker, and you add your ingredients, go away, do whatever you want during the day, and then an hour before you're ready to consume your food, add your salt and spices. Do not slow cook with the salt and spices, otherwise you end up losing flavour, because you know most often you'll be gone in the morning, come back 8 hours later, and yeah. I sometimes actually leave the food in there for 2 days. It's usually legume and it's not hot, it's not going to spoil. That being said, you can, if it's for one person, you can cook like 4 serves in one hit. What I'm going to show you now is 3 serves. If you've got 3 people, then obviously that's for that one evening. Anyway, I'm yabbering. So the easiest soup you can make that is extremely tasty. You don't need to add oil, you don't need to add stock. All you need is split yellow peas, curry powder, and it's easy to make your own. I do not recommend buying curry paste. It's got shit in it usually. Better just to mix the spices or just buy a simple curry powder with no crap in it. And I like pink Himalayan salt because of the magical properties more so than anything else. Similar effect to having those salt lamps, if you know what I mean. But you can use salt. Salt's not going to kill you, okay? Myself personally, I used to bloat with carbs, gluten carbs, but when I removed all the fat from my diet, that stopped happening. So I really should have got a pair of scissors. So I'm going to pop them down here, grab a pair of scissors. So all you do is you pour your legumes or lentils into the pot. Pop a lid on it, and 8 hours later you're done. That being said, before I leave this in here, what I do like to do is I'll actually, under the tap, I'll just swirl this actual crock pot under the tap and tip out the water. In a way, I'm sort of cleaning the lentils lazily. If you do see any little stones, take them out. It's not fun biting into a stone when you're consuming legumes. And I'm covering the microphone again. So I'm just going to go and swirl that. Now you can use organic lentils, but look, at the end of the day, if you are broke and you don't have a lot to spare, you're going to save money by eating vegan in the first place. But it's not always accessible. So I recommend always cleaning up and having a good diet first, and if you've got it to spare, then go organic. Better yet, grow your own organic, which is not that hard to do in some areas. But lentils, bit of a different thing, you need quite a bit of space. But that's it, you just cover that, pop it on high, go do your business for the day, and in the evening you have the most yummiest soup ever. I love this stuff. I will add a link to the details of this soup. I'll also add a link to making your own BCA. God, I've got bodybuilding stuff in my head. I'll also add a link to your own curry powder with bay leaves. That's where I got the bees in. So basically an hour before you're ready to consume your lentils, for 1 packet of split peas, I'll probably add about 2 tablespoons of curry powder, and I'll add about 3 or 4 teaspoons of pink Himalayan salt, and it's super yummy and fulfilling. And I tend to alternate. I tend to have green peas, and I like having smoked paprika with the green peas instead of curry powder. I also like the orange lentils, and I like to add a bit of turmeric with the orange lentils. But I'll show you some other pots later on, and in the link to this post you will see on the blog actual pictures of the finished product. I wonder if anyone else does that. You say your letters back to front, or you say the first letter of the next word you're going to say at the beginning of the first letter. Get your head around that one. It's something I actually do if I don't concentrate. But yeah, so read in the description of this post to the blogs for the finished result. Let me do it again. And also links to how to make your own curry powder. And that's it from me today. So if you do not have one, get yourself a slow cooker. I do not recommend the ones that are express. They're all lined with steel, and as much as possible I prefer to use stoneware, ceramicware, glassware. I like to avoid metal as much as I possibly can in my food. We have way too much of it as it is when it comes to food. And I'm not a fan of those non-stick surfaces either, and the plastic fantastic utensils for cooking so you don't scratch those surfaces. I prefer to use bamboo or wood. And so what if you get a bit of bacteria in there? Guess what? It's vitamin B12. But yeah, so get yourself one. It doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. This one I got for $20, I think, from Kmart. So grab yourself a slow cooker and enjoy some lentil soup with literally 1 minute, if that, in preparation. And enjoy a very nice, slow cooked, hearty, fulfilling, full of protein and fibre meal. Blessed be.